guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video that, I don't know, I was just going through my spreadsheet and looking at my brands that I have and seeing like, oh, I have quite a few brands that I only own one single polish from. Like I have a few that I only own like a couple, two or three, but there is like a pretty sizable chunk that I only own one single polish from. And I kind of started to wonder, like, why did I only buy one? What's going on here? Because early on in my collecting days, I was the type of collector or nail polish shopper or buyer, however you want to put it. I was the type of person who I could not buy just one from a brand. I had to buy multiples when I was first trying them because I wanted to make sure, like, I didn't want to pay shipping on a single polish. That's expensive. I also wanted to sample a variety of what the brand had to offer. So if they did like hollows and creams and glitters and stuff, I wanted to try something from each category, or as many categories as I could muster with my finances. So buying just a single polish wasn't really my thing. I didn't like having one-offs. Like, it just felt weird. I would say my change in attitude towards that is directly associated with finding nail polish stockists who have multiple brands so I could buy one from multiple brands, but more importantly, polish pickup, because the brand only offers one polish a month. So you have to buy one from the brand or you don't get any. Like, that's how it works. So thanks to those two things, it's become a lot easier for me to just sample one from a brand and say like, okay, that's enough for now, and we'll see what else they offer in the future. And I haven't found that it has really negatively impacted me against any specific brand. I still feel compelled to try more from every brand that I've only tried one of, for the most part, barring a couple for like non-polish related issues. But yeah, I thought I would share with you guys some of the brands that I only own one of and why. None of these in particular are for any sort of negative reason. It's just kind of weird circumstantial stuff, and I just thought it was kind of interesting. So if you guys want to hear about that, stay tuned, because I've got 5 different polishes to share with you and why I haven't bought more from that brand. So the first brand that I only own a single polish from is this brand called Smelly. It literally says in Japanese on the back, Smelly Manicure. So weird name. That was part of the reason I was drawn to this. The other reason is this little bear on the bottle. It just captured my heart. I love him. And this particular shade is number 273. It's called Tsubame, which it means like swallow, like the bird. I bought this when I was living in Japan. That's pretty much the only reason I have a single one. I didn't buy much polish when I was living there because moving that sort of thing between country is a huge hassle when you only have limited space. I didn't want to ship anything back if I didn't have to, and so I tried to limit myself while I was there. Also, cosmetics were just generally a little bit more pricey to me at that time, and Japanese nail polish was far more expensive to me, and a lot of the bottles were a lot smaller, so I just didn't buy as much. But I remember going into this department store, and in their window display, they had a little table with all of these bottles and in all these beautiful colors. And I was always so drawn to it, but I just never went inside because it was a clothing store, and like clothing stores in Japan are typically, Japanese people are smaller than me. So I didn't feel comfortable going into them. But one day I did, and I bought the nail polish, which is the only thing that would fit me in the store. Where are my other fat girls at? You guys know what that's like. Yeah. So I bought this singular nail polish and I felt pretty good about it. I loved it. And I always meant to go back and get this mustard yellow one they had as well, and I just never did. The reason I picked this specific color though is because it reminded me of the fossils in Animal Crossing. So I do always forever think about this color as like the Animal Crossing fossil color. Number 2 is one that surprises even me, and that is Wildflower Lacquer. This is still the only Wildflower I own. This is Stolen Flame. I bought this from Polish Pickup in April, so it hasn't been like a full year since I bought it, but it's been a good chunk of time, and I still don't own any other Wildflowers. This brand has like a cult following, which was one of the bigger reasons I want to try them so bad in the past, it reminded me of the way people talked about Enchanted and Bee's Knees Lacquer. These polishes are hyped up. Buying them secondhand is kind of absurd because when I see them listed on Nearly No Rules on Facebook, they are always way above what people paid for them. Like, people flip them for quite a bit of money for the most part, and it's just like, to me, I'm not interested in paying double for most polishes, and so I've kind of stayed away from the secondhand market when it comes to Wildflower and even Bee's Knees and even Enchanted. Like, I don't want to do that. But they're one of those brands that I think they only list stuff on their website when there's a launch, and then when it's gone, like it's the site has nothing but like the gift card on there. And then when they do a restock, that's when they start doing it again. And I haven't paid attention to when they stock anything. My shopping brain typically doesn't work like that. I want accessibility all the time. I just want to look and browse at a snail's pace if I can. And it's too hard for me, like, to follow these kinds of launches. I can handle drops from a brand that always has stuff on their website, but I can't handle that being the only way that nail polish is released, or really anything for that matter, because I just forget. Based off of this one that I've gotten from Polish Pickup, the brand seems amazing. I really love this polish. I've worn it 2 or 3 times now, and I love it matte. I love it glossy. I love this polish. I just don't. When do they release stuff? I don't know. I follow their Instagram, and I always see they're like, oh, upcoming launch, and I'm like, cool. And then it just flies out of my head, and I'm like, okay, now what am I doing? I don't know. I just got to be more on top of things, or just only resign myself to buying them from Polish Pickup. I don't know. Number 3 on my list is A. England. This is a brand that I'm pretty sure I heard about from Simply Nailogical when I first started watching her. This one is called The Most Happy. I get a lot of recommendations from people for polishes from this brand, and they seem to have a pretty devoted fan base, a really steady one. And it's not like, I don't think they're like the most popular brand that's ever existed, but I think they sit in a really comfortable position in like nail polish. Maybe it's just, this is a UK based brand, so maybe it's bigger in England than it is in the US. I'm not really sure. And maybe it's who I watch on YouTube, but I don't tend to see people reviewing full collections of this brand. But I do hear people I see people talk about it on like Instagram and things like that constantly. So it's got a pretty solid footing. Like, all I'm trying to say is I have no beef with this brand. I think it's a solid brand. Whenever I think of A. England, I'm like, that's the hollow brand. Like, in my head, all this brand does is hollow. And I'm sure that's not correct, but I think it's correct in my head. So and I'm not a big hollow stan. I'm not a hollow queen. I'm very ambivalent about it, very take it or leave it. And so I'm never like, dang, I should go see what A. England is doing. I don't know. I don't know what they're doing, obviously. Their stuff is pretty. After I was making this list, I made the list and then I decided, I'm like, let me go look at their website and just see what they're doing. And I think I've realized what has held me back is I like their stuff. It's very pretty. It's just that they do a lot of hollows, and they're always deeper tones that I'm just not as drawn to. I prefer a neon poppy bright type of hollow if I'm gonna wear hollow. I'm not super into like the darker, deeper type, and that seems to be what A. England is more specializing in. I actually don't even remember I don't know how I got this. I don't know if I got this, maybe, did Live Love Polish, when they were a stockist, did they sell A. England? Because I did buy from them a couple times, but there was like I don't know. It's a mystery. I know I paid for this. I just don't know where I got it, because I got this before I was tracking like where I bought stuff on my spreadsheet, so that's just kind of blank there. Next is Moonshine Manny. This particular shade is Build Me Up Buttercup, and this is actually the polish that really kind of springboarded me into greens. I won this from a giveaway over on Cork Manicure's channel, and that was it. This was all I needed to be obsessed with nasty looking greens. Moonshine Manny is a brand that I have been wanting to buy from for years. I watch Phoebe Moon here on YouTube, and I like a lot of her stuff. I browse her website from time to time, and I'm like, yeah, I want that, I want that, I want that. On my dedicated nail polish wish list, I have a handful. I really like her Project Dupe It, like the concept of that. I think it's really cool. But I think part of the reason that I haven't bought from this brand, oh my God, you guys, the gap in my teeth is getting huge. I just noticed that in the viewfinder. Oh man, I look like Sookie Stackhouse over here. I can't handle the amount of times that her bottle has changed. And that is not, I don't think that has anything to do with her. Like, I don't think that's her fault. I'm pretty sure it has to do with whoever her stockist is, where she buys the bottles from, just running out, changing, whatever. I feel like that has a big factor in it. And it's like, if a brand wants to change their bottles, like, it's not that, ultimately it should not be that big of a deal. But I already have this one in this bottle, and now it's a different bottle. Like, they're not gonna go together. I hate that, which is dumb, but it's true. But like I said, I do have 5 or 6 of her polishes on my wish list. I like her stuff. I love Phoebe Moon. I love that she also loves cross stitch like me. Sometimes I watch her and I'm like, I don't think I should be watching her because she just seems so nice. She's like too nice that I feel like just by watching her, I'm corrupting her because she's just too sweet. I know I'll buy from her at some point. I was going to on Black Friday, and then I didn't pay attention to the sale time start, and I missed like half the polishes that I wanted. So then I was like mad at myself, and I was like, fine, I won't buy any of them. And then I regretted it because I wish I had still bought the ones that were there, but I was being a brat. But yeah, I just need to like do it. I just need to do it. And then the final one on my list is NV Lacquer. And you guys know I love this polish. My singular polish from NV Lacquer. I love it. Like, I talk about it in every 2.5 videos. It's got a spot in my heart forever. And it introduced me to the brand. I never really knew much about the brand. And when I saw this polish, I was just like, yes, that's it. That's the one. And it really piqued my interest. I'm like, if they can do something like this, what else can they do? And so I went to go and buy more from this brand, or at least browse their website, and I just came up with nothing. I literally cannot find a website for them. I went to their Instagram, which hasn't posted in kind of a while, and in their bio, there's a link to their website, but when you click it, it goes to an unregistered domain through GoDaddy, and I was like, okay, so there's no website. And so then I was like, well, maybe they're like a Facebook thing, and I go and I find them on Facebook, and again, they haven't posted anything in a long time aside from polish pickup polishes and Hella Handmade Creation polishes. I don't know what's going on. Have they ever had polishes on a website? Like, have they ever done collections? I don't know. I don't think that they're a US based brand, but I also don't know like what's going on. Like, if they're just not doing anything outside of monthly pre-order stuff. I don't know. And if that's the case, that really sucks because I want to buy more polishes from them, not just on a one-off basis, you know? So if you guys know something that I don't, NV Lacquer's whereabouts, let me know down in the comments because I don't know. I just feel like I could have more of these, you know? I would love to give them more of my money. But yeah, those are just a few of the brands that I only own one of. I definitely have way more, but I just thought these ones were, I don't know, they were the first ones that I kind of glanced on the list and was like, oh yeah, I know why that is. Yeah, I like all these brands. I don't have any beef with any of them. None of them I have any like negative feelings towards. I just haven't bought more from them for one reason or another. Do you have any brands like that? Down in the comments, let me know if there's any brands that you only have one of and why, whether it be, you know, they went out of business or you just didn't get along with the brand's formula or something like that. I would love to hear from you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.